Also, part of this, the reason the line is important is because growth means crossing the line that represents your comfort zone. So I'm back to, if you're not a little bit uncomfortable, you're really not growing. You're not straight. So you got it. Now the thing is, a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of anxiety is necessary for learning. Too much is not good. You don't learn if you're too anxious or too uncomfortable either. There's a sweet spot in there. You got to be a little uncomfortable, not too uncomfortable. At the edge. I was at the cutting edge. I pushed the envelope. I did the heavy lifting. I was the rainmaker. Then I ran out of metaphors. So, big deal. What does all this have to do? Well, I guess I would say, kind of summarize, it really all starts with awareness. So if you said to me, what are the three most important things in terms of growth and development as a person or as a business or as a company? I would say awareness, awareness, awareness. You cannot make an informed choice unless you are aware. Last time I looked at Amazon, there was something like 150,000 plus titles on leading and leadership. Certainly, I have no interest in reading all of those, but the ones I've gone through, there are two things that primarily stand out for me that are common through whatever model of leadership you go to. One is a high level of self-awareness, and the second thing is the ability to have the difficult conversation, feedback or negotiation or something. But it starts with awareness. So I would really encourage you to pay attention to investing in your own self-awareness about what are your beliefs, what assumptions are you making, challenge them. How are you thinking about things? Think differently. I would also say challenge yourself to be yourself fully. Remember I said development is about expanding your range? Most of us don't tap into anywhere near our full range. So I talk a lot about presence, executive presence. And I would say to people, the challenge to be present is to be fully present and to be yourself. And you could say, be yourself. Now you can't set the bar any lower than that. How could you be anything but yourself? The point is, be yourself fully. Lots of people, when they go to work or they go in other arenas, check parts of themselves at the door. They check their intuition, they check their sense of humor, they check their perspective. It's like, this is not appropriate here. It's crazy. We show up kind of handicapped. We handicap ourselves by not bringing all of our full self to what we do. I tried being myself, but it wasn't getting me anywhere. Last couple of things. Challenge your beliefs and assumptions. First, you have to be aware that you're making them. Maybe you can bounce that off of someone in your family or a friend, but when you become aware of them, just ask yourself, like, what if? This was a big HP commercial like years ago. What if? What if we did it differently? Ask yourself, what if I saw myself in a different light? What if I was a little better at this than I thought? You know, what if I gave myself a chance? And I would say, kind of to develop yourself, but also really to develop the world in a way. Never miss an opportunity to heighten awareness. Your own, somebody else's, somebody you care about, somebody you love, a group that you work in. Heighten your awareness, you know. It's a very powerful intervention as an outside consultant just to go into a group of senior managers that are trying to do something and say, what are the beliefs that all of you are making together? Or what assumptions are you all making? You know what, whenever you ask the question, you find out people are not in agreement. It's just below the radar, so they don't even talk about it. So give yourself opportunity to self-reflect, to go back and say to yourself regularly, even if it's like 5 minutes at the end of a Friday, what did I learn from what I did this week? I guarantee you that's what anchors the learning. Otherwise, it just dissipates into the ether. And I would say, consider this notion of there are multiple realities. There's yours, you know, and there's someone else's. And so when you encounter one that's different, what if you just said, isn't that interesting, you know? Roy actually believes that. Isn't that interesting? Rather than, what an idiot. Where did he come up with that? You know, so that, isn't it interesting allows you to engage in a conversation. So that's my last message. Paradoxical theory of change. You're enough. You just need to access all of yourself because you don't at the moment. None of us does. That's the growth path. Just reclaim all of the unused and unaccessed parts of ourselves. Human beings come with all the parts. It's not like, well, I'm not really sneaky or I'm not really smart, or I'm not really quick. No, you have all of those things. We just put them in compartments and don't access them.